Okay, now we're going to talk about arrays. So we've already dealt with most of these variables. You're familiar with these let variables or constant variables. Each of these has always so far stored a number, a string, and down here even a date object. So there's this issue so far in that what if you want to store multiple somethings, like multiple numbers? For this, you'd use an array. Arrays, also known as lists in some languages, are very simple structures. We'll use this for an example. My array equals, notice the two square brackets. This is just a notation for making an array. You could also use new array, and I guess that would be nice and clear, but people like to use simpler methods, so we'll just go with the square brackets. So an array, actually it's easier to do it down here, so I'm going to run the node interpreter. So take a close look down here. If I use let my array equals square brackets, I get undefined. So let me type my array. The array is currently empty. An array is a container, a big box, but it only has two directions you can store things in. Unlike a box, you might have up and down, left and right, all the four corners. You only have left and right with this array. So, to put things in the array, you have several ways of doing it. The simplest and most straightforward one is called push. And that is where myArray.push, anything you put inside this method, as it's called, I call them methods again. Methods, anything that's done to make an object perform behavior is a method. You can also call them class functions. I don't really care what JavaScript calls them. I'm going to call them methods. So if I push 50 to this array, I can now type my array. It contains 50. I type myArray.push 39 or 30. My array now contains two different values. The kind of value doesn't really matter. I can push in Godzilla, Tornado, and even a new date, 11/14/1986, my birthday. And if I type in my array, you'll notice it stores all of those things. There's the two numbers, the Godzilla, Tornado, and the date. So that's putting things into the array. Now, if I do my array dot, you'll notice we have several different other things you can do with it. In this case, we want to see how many things are in the array. We can, let's see. Entries, I don't think that's what I want. Actually, it is what I want. Okay. MyArray.length returns 5 because there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the array. I think entries will do the exact same thing. I'm not sure. Oh, it's a function. I don't know what that does. Never mind. So the length of the array is going to be the amount of items in the array. You'll also hear the word elements used for array. Remember, 50 is element 0, 39 element 1, Godzilla's element 2, Tornado's element 3, my birthday is element 4. It begins at 0. Arrays are indexed in this way. You can access elements in the array by using the square bracket notation and the number of the index. Like this will return 50. If I do 3, you get Tornado. And 4 is that date that I put in. The good thing about arrays is they are amazing for sorting data. If you want to sort lots of numbers, for instance, you might want to use an array. If you want to sort a lot of names from in alphabetical order, an array is also great. Arrays can be sorted. Remember that, because that's very important. I can also use reverse And that reversed the array. Now the order is changed. So arrays, you can change the order of all the items in them, and you can get things out of them. They're pretty useful for keeping track of a lot of objects, whatever it is you are working with, but they have their limits. I will get more into that in the next episode. For now, you have seen how to work with arrays.